Welcome everybody to episode 5 of the Six Banner Podcast. My name is Philip Charles VanDerHeyden IV, aka PCV the Fourth, and with me is my esteemed co-host Neill, straight out of Ireland. Neill, how are you doing today, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. The weather's beginning to improve a little bit here. It's not actually raining for once, so that's something that always puts me in a good mood. Looking forward to talking about Bulls, even though it's been an interesting week.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I always like talking Bulls, even if it's bad. I don't mind.
That's true. Me too. Me too. Well, before we go on any further, let's hit that badass intro that we got, Neil.
Let's do it.
The Sixth Banner Podcast with your hosts, PCV the Fourth and Neill Dunne.
It's the most exciting, cool thing to happen all week. I love
It's
it.
been a tough one. It's been a tough one.
It has been. It has been. I mean, I guess hey man, for draft odds wise, we've never been looking better in quite a long time.
Yes, for
Uh,
sure.
but I guess that's the one area that we are looking good in. So for better or worse.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot, but it's a crapshoot that we are more likely to have better odds in. So there we go.
Yes, facts. Um, you know, I don't know. You know, even though it's been tough, there's a couple of people that have been playing at least a little bit inspired. Like they're trying. There's a couple people that we'll recognize throughout the episode that are giving their all. A couple
Hmm.
people maybe not so much so. Anfernee Simons did get hurt this week. For anyone,
Yeah.
any Bull fans that may or may not be aware, if you're a Bulls fan, I'm sure you are. And so that's really, really put a damper on things because it's our lack of scoring at the two guard. Very much, like, reared its ugly head without Simons. Uh, Billingham's not ready to take that spot, even though he did have some admirable play, and, Trey Jones, that's another story.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, but, we always like to start off with a little bit of good stuff first and foremost, so I think without further ado, let's launch into our feeling horny.
Feeling horny.
So, Neil, what has you feeling horny this week?
I'll tell you what has me feeling horny this week, and as you can see from my little tagline down there, nothing else matters. Um, Last night it was a good play on words, wasn't it? I like that. Last night, Mattis Buzelis put out a career performance amongst a tree of muck and turd, and it was actually really good to see him playing so loose, so confident, not being afraid to let the ball fly. He had a couple of good attacks to the rim. He got a lob. There was just a lot to like about Mattis's game last night. And it was the only thing that kept me interested in the game last night. So for that reason, Mattis Buzelis has me feeling horny.
I love it, man. I love it. Uh, I want to say before I say before I say this for sure, let me double. I'm double checking. Okay, so not only did he have a career high in points last night, Neil, but he also set a career high in blocks earlier this week when he blocked 6 shots against the
Yes.
Detroit Pistons. Uh, which, if I'm not mistaken, that was also his worst game of the week. I can't remember for sure. Or no, no, no. It was the Raptors where he was a no show. But you know,
Yeah.
six blocks is an incredible amount of blocks for a second year pro that was not projected to be a shot blocking extraordinaire coming out of the draft. So it's
No.
been it's been a really welcome part of his game that I'm excited to see develop because you gotta think that he's only going to get better at it, and he really showcased his potential on both ends of the floor because if you can just get somewhere in the mid of where he's been landing and those career highs, like, he doesn't have to score 32 or block 6, but if he's gonna be scoring, like, 25 and blocking 3,
Yep.
then you're like, "Okay, now we're talking." So, um, well, it was really nice to see him, and I'll say, what I'm feeling horny most about when it comes to his game is that last night, I seen him shoot a mid-range jumper.
Yeah, he did. He pulled up from just around a free throw line and he knocked it down. It was nice to see.
Wow.
And he didn't get the hook for doing it, which is
I
even
know.
better.
Right. I guess he didn't have to throw that shit in the trash. So,
No.
no, you know, I'm just glad to see that he looked loose last night, and I hope it
Mm.
continues to be that way. For anybody who's been listening to the commentary, it's actually been a consistent subject of Stacy and Adams. The fact that he needs to be working the mid range into his game, and uh, they've been consistently on it. It's like they've almost made a pact off screen, like we're gonna make this our mission to get Matas more mid range opportunities. Because I mean, Adam even went through a whole thing last night where it was like 52 percent of twos go in on average, and then it's like 30, like the league wide average on 2 pointers is 52%, league wide average on threes is 36. And if you like average that out to a full game of shooting just that at league average, they would both average out to like 102 points. So there's really no difference in whether or not you shoot. Like, it was a very in-depth like step by step from Adam Amin on why, like, he broke it down, like why he believed there was really no difference, even though the analytics will, in other regards, will try to tell you that you should be shooting more threes.
Well, see, this is the thing, and it's the thing. It's one of the things that grates on me too, right? I get how math works, right? And I know that 3 is bigger than 2, and I
What?
totally understand. But
No way.
I know, it's shocking. But even though 3 is bigger than 2, statistically, you have a better chance of hitting the 2. So I'm really happy that Adam broke that down and made a point of saying, yeah, okay, you get more points by hitting more 3s than you do if you hit more, at the same number of 2s, but you've got a better chance of hitting more 2s. Therefore, the division there, the divide there is not as great as we're being made to think. And I hate that the 2-point game and the mid-range game is being squeezed out of the NBA. If you're not shooting in the paint, then you have to be shooting from 3. There's a big old area within the 3-point line and the paint where you can get your shots. And we talk about the greats of this game, the likes of Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird. These were players that built their game on the 2-point shot.
Yep.
And they're still up there and will forevermore be up there as the greatest players that have ever stepped foot, or amongst the greatest players that have ever stepped foot on an NBA floor. So why people are so set on making this a 3-point game is beyond me. And I'm not against the 3-point shot. All I'm saying is we've put too much stock in it. Not everybody is Steph Curry.
I'm with you, and I could be wrong, but like his Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, if I'm not mistaken, is shooting a lot of mid range jumpers.
He is.
Like, he's not a great 3-point shooter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like I just pulled up a shot chart of his from, like, it was like, I think last year, and it's all mid range. I
Yeah,
just So, like, if the MVP of the league and the guy who led the Thunder to a championship last season, if it's an okay shot for him, like, I can hear the argument already. Well, you just answer yourself. He's the MVP. The point is that he's utilizing it. Okay. Like,
correct.
and it's working. Now, yes, I don't expect anybody on our team to shoot to the effect of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but it also, you would think, like, when a team thinks that you're only shooting from 3 or you're only gonna drive to the rim, doesn't that, I mean, that makes it defending the Chicago Bulls a lot easier if you ask me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you don't ever have to worry about that mid range. It's almost like when he shot that mid range, like I think the defender was probably shocked.
I'd
Like
say so.
the
He
scouting report
certainly had
is never going to
space.
treat that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People like Madas and many other players around the league are being afforded space from the mid range because nobody expects you to take the shot anymore, and that just blows my mind. It really does. And the worst thing about it is players that are wide open from the mid range will step back and take a three instead
Yep.
of taking the two when they're wide open. Hit your
Yep.
shot, take your shot.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. I get that they're pros, but I know that it's a harder shot for me if I take a step back and then shoot. Like if I'm stationary already, like that's an easier shot. It's a set
Yeah,
shot. Um, he's not dead, but Tim Duncan's is rolling around in his basketball grave because
for sure.
I mean, come on, man. You know what, man? You don't want to shoot it off the backboard then and make that excuse. You're
Yeah.
utilizing the friggin' backboard, like that's another lost art. That's another conversation. But like, I just don't understand, man. I mean, the post game is getting lost. The mid range post game, nobody uses backboard. You know,
No.
they're taking that crap that you say in the pickup yard very literally, where you have to call it. Breaking news, you don't have to call it. You can just shoot it off the
Bank.
backboard.
Bank shot.
I don't know, man. We can move on, but like I'm glad that Mata shot one last night. I hope that he will continue to be allowed to shoot those. And if not, then honestly, I just really hope that the rumors of Billy leaving this team soon are true because I'm tired of our players being put into a box.
Yeah, absolutely. And that segues quite nicely into going from something positive to something that makes us a little bit angry.
Neil, I'll let you rage on first.
Yeah, I do have something that is getting my goat right now, and that's some of the takes that we've been hearing at the moment around the fact that the Bulls are legitimately tanking, right? And the problem I have with this is, like, I mean, there have been people that have been talking on the socials and talking in the media and saying how tanking is necessary. This Bulls team needs to tank. Well, we're seeing it now. We're on a 10-game slide. What we're having to witness on the floor as fans is an absolutely terrible product. It's not enjoyable basketball. It's not entertaining. It can't be fun for the players either. And, from their perspective, it's quite demoralizing to know that you are going out there as a professional paid athlete and doing nothing but stacking up losses, loss after loss after loss, for a team that a lot of them potentially may not even be on next season. And so that's not something that I like to watch for the players. It's not something I like to watch as a fan. And if you're telling me that tanking has to become now something that we embrace, not just to finish out this season for the next 23 games, but we now have to accept as something that we're going to be looking at for the next 2, 3, 4+ seasons, well, I'm sorry, that does not do it for me. And it actually pisses me off, frankly, that people are out there and happy and prepared to say, well, this is what we want. Trust me, you get to the end of this season and tell me that you want to watch this for another 2 or 3 years. I guarantee you that nobody in their right mind wants to. And a lot of people that do content creation will drop off on the other side after a year or so of it, because it is not sustainable from a fan perspective or a player perspective. And I know you have your own take on pretty much the same idea.
Yeah, man. I also I want to clarify what the meaning of tank means as well. Meaning of tank means like that your organization did not do anything that they could have done, that they're not doing things on purpose in order to lose games. Now, you can make the argument that we did that when we traded away half the roster, right?
Right.
We made conscious decisions that made us worse. Now, I know in the moment that I thought maybe we got a little bit better. I was wrong. And what I really did not discount, or what I really didn't take into account, was chemistry. How much
Yeah,
that matters, especially for a point guard like Josh Giddey, who I think you're seeing doesn't know what the hell to do with half of the players that are on the court with him now, and
absolutely.
it's really rearing its ugly head. Um, Tanking also means, like, that you're sitting down guys that are supposed to be healthy, and it also, like, and it 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 doesn't mean that, like, someone got injured on the team legitimately and you went through a losing spell because of that. Like, I feel like everyone's version of a take now is just that the team sucks. Now there's reasons, like, now, like, we have a mixture going on right now. We do have a lot of injuries. But
Hmm.
we also did trade away half the team, and so in that regard, the organization did pull a tank. Um, but I'm just sick of seeing people say that this is the right way that we need to be tanking moving forward. Um, I would argue that like, if you're watching every game happy that the Bulls are the way they are right now, then we don't understand each other. Like,
Right.
we just don't. I can't go through an 82 game season like this. Like, what I'm watching last night, 42-16 in the 3rd quarter. It's off. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't wanna be the Pelicans. I don't wanna be these teams that can barely th th that barely put up a fight. Like, we're lucky. Like, we had a good game against the Knicks this week. That was the one game that we had a shot. Against the Raptors, against the Pistons, and against the,
Hornets.
Hornets. The game was over by the time we got to the 4th quarter,
Oh
and
yeah.
then we slept walk through, and it disgusts me. I don't wanna see it for an 82 game season, and I've got news for everybody that thinks that we're gonna do this next season. You better buckle up, because I firmly believe that AK his marching orders are gonna be reload and go
Hmm.
for it again. Because unless we did an organizational shift, like, unless Jerry is all of a sudden fine with bottoming out, I fully believe that we're gonna draft it, use all that cap room that we have. Whether or not we sign guys that you want or that I want is besides the point. I think that we're gonna go for it again next year. And to be honest with you, as long as it results in a better product than what I'm being forced to watch right now, I'll be happy. Because at the end of the day, yeah, I want us to win championships, but I also want to enjoy the 82 game season at least a little bit. I need it to be competitive. So there's no anyone who said that we have to suck year in and year out in order to build a contender. I'd love for you. I'd love to sit down and break down all of the teams that you think tanked to get to where they are now, and you actually have a listening ear, and I'll tell you why most of the teams that you think tanked to get to where they are now really just had one bad year because of an injury, or they were bad for, like, 7 years before they actually became good. That doesn't
Right.
mean anything paid off. That just means that eventually, what goes around comes around. Like, if you're bad for 7 years, eventually you're gonna be good again. You know what I mean? But, like, I I don't there's no way that you can convince me that you can't retool a team and become better. We have players on this team that if you build around and develop, you could be good again sooner rather than later. I don't think we need to be bad for 3 years in order to be contenders. I just
Yeah.
don't. So, that's
I
my piece.
I don't need to be relying on lottery balls, ping pong balls for the next 2, 3 years. There's too much luck involved. There's too many variables involved. Let's actually put something together. They've obviously made a conscious decision to do that this season, but I don't need to see that going forward for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, however many seasons. Um, because it will kill this fan base. It will absolutely kill this fan base. But there we go. Look, what we endured post-Dynasty, before the baby bulls kind of kicked in and started to make things seem a little bit more palatable, was horrific. And anyone that is old enough, like me, to remember that time, trust me, it is not fun. It is not easy to go through watching your team be absolute ass for game after game, season after season. It's not enjoyable. And I don't want to go there again. And trust me, for anyone that thinks that that's the only way forward, you better check yourself, because you won't be here following this team in 2-3 years if they're still doing that. Or at least a lot of people won't. I can't speak for everyone.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like a good example to me is we were in the middle where everyone says we shouldn't be when we drafted Derrick Rose. And
Right.
yes, we got lucky when we got Derrick Rose,
Of course.
but that's kind of the point. You don't have to be awful to get for the draft to turn you around. Also, we got Matas Buzelis at 11. There's
Mm-hmm.
also tons of other examples of stars being found later in the draft. And the argument that's always given to me is, well, do you trust AK to get a star there? I don't trust AK to draft at the top of the draft.
Right.
Well, what does it matter if it's later or at the top? Either way, we're going to take a shot on AK. So
Right.
history actually tells me he's better at drafting at 11 than he is at 4.
Right, I agree, because look at what we've got, and then both our 11th pick and our 4th pick that I know you're alluding to are both still on this roster. And, we all know what we've been looking at there. Io was a late pick.
Second round.
And second rounder, what was he, 33rd pick or something, I think it was? And look what he turned into. The greatest MVP that this league has seen in, 10 plus years, in Nikola Jokic, was a second round pick.
Giannis.
There's so Giannis Antetokounmpo, exactly. There's so much of it that is down to luck. Obviously, there is an element of judgment in your picking and your selection, but a lot of the time, you don't really know what these guys are going to evolve into.
Shai Gilgeous
So
Alexander.
there's another one, another MVP. You're talking some of the best players that we have seen in the past 10 plus years have not been number 1 draft picks. They haven't even been top 10 draft picks.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Donovan Mitchell, 13th.
Yeah,
I mean,
see,
these are the guys leading the best teams. Jalen Brunson. I mean, Jalen Brunson is leading the New York Knicks.
Jalen Brunson was a second rounder too, wasn't he?
Jalen Brunson was the 33rd overall pick.
Yeah.
That's actually where we project. We project right around there with the Pelicans pick this year. So for all we know,
Right.
we're going to draft Jalen Brunson. Like, that's what I'm saying. You got to go for the ride, but you don't have to be awful. Like, we got lucky with Derrick Rose, and then we were good right away because and it wasn't even with him that we got good. We spent one offseason signing the right players, and they weren't stars.
Yeah.
We signed Ronnie Brewer. The one big acquisition was Carlos Boozer, who was arguably the most disappointing acquisition. Like we got Kyle Korver, Ronnie Brewer. We signed Omir Sheik from overseas. We signed CJ Watson. We signed the right guys.
Right.
And then we took off. That's all it is, man, is signing the right mix of players. Like this idea that you got to stack up with top 5 picks is bullshit. It's really rarely ever been done. OKC won their championship with the 2 best players. Not Jalen Williams wasn't a top 5 pick either, from what I understand. I draft position. Jalen Williams was number 12.
Right.
So then that was
their defensive superstar that they took from us, Alex Caruso, came up through the G League.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren was their 1 top 5 guy. They got lucky because of injury that year. They didn't tank. There was injuries that year, from what I remember, and they ended up. they threw in the towel after the injuries happened, but, like, that was it, like, and
Yeah.
then they got Chet, and he's not
Check the
even their best
rainbow.
player. He's not even he's, like, their 3rd best player, arguably, at best.
Mhm.
Like, and honestly, you get like, best based on the bets I put on him, he's alright, man. But I had him for 20 points and rebounds combined last night, and that lame 7'3" again, like, we've spoke enough on this. We've made our point. Like, you don't need to just be awful year in and year out.
Correct.
Detroit, Detroit's other, they got Cade Cunningham, and then the other guy that was supposed to be a star through their tanking efforts was Jaden Ivey. Where's he at? Oh yeah, sitting on our IR. Got traded for Kevin Herter, who's also not getting any time for the Pistons. So
Yeah.
go figure, man. I mean, yeah, Jalen Duren was part of it too, but he was a secondary thought to Jaden Ivey. He was supposed to be like the thought on Jalen Duren was that he was a limited center coming out of college. That's why he
Right.
wasn't in the top 5.
He's just developed really well for them, and that's partly down to luck and partly down to good development, as well as just
Duren,
the player himself.
Jalen Duren, 13th overall. Yeah, I
See?
mean, like how many more people should I pull up that were drafted in the teens before we just realize that it's you find stars anywhere in the draft. Sure,
Yeah.
man, you're only gonna get Wemby at number 1, but let's be honest, there's only been like 3 or 4 franchise altering number 1 picks in the last like 10, 20 years, and maybe not 20, the last 10 years. Less than half of those years we've had a franchise. I like Cooper Flag, Wemby, who else? Like, Luka wasn't a number 1 pick. In fact, Luka was like he wasn't nobody thought he was gonna be what he is now when
Mm.
he got traded for Trae Young. I mean, imagine being in Atlanta. They
Yeah.
Luka Don I so, like, Luka Luka went 3rd. That's right, he got drafted by the Hawks, and he was traded to the Mavs. The Hawks are sick to this day.
Oops. Oops.
Well, like, that just goes to like, again, that just goes to show, like, Luka was like, everyone was kinda high on him, but they're like, "Oh, he's European, he's got faults, this, and that." Like,
Yeah. I
I'm
mean, I'm looking at the number 1 picks. I've gone back over the number 1 picks, right? So you had Cooper Flag, Risa Shea, Wembanyama, Banchero, Cunningham, Ant-Man, Zion, DeAndre Ayton, Markel Fultz, Ben Simmons, Cat,
my god.
Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett, Anthony Davis. You probably have to go back as far as Anthony Davis.
So, yeah, I mean, like, 5 of those so, like, Cat's really good,
Yeah.
but he's been traded. I mean, it's not like
Yeah. He's
um,
not been a franchise player.
no, Jalen Brunson is objectively the number 1 on that team,
Yeah.
and he's the 33rd overall pick. Um,
So I suppose maybe you could say Anthony
Ant-Man
Edwards.
Ant-Man for sure, 100%,
Yeah.
he's a stud. Um, then you got Cooper Flag, Wemby. I think there was maybe one other one I heard in that.
Banchero,
Maybe.
still not proven just yet. I mean, and
Orlando sucks too. Like anyone, like they're so disappointing, and they've maxed their payroll out on their guys. They're
yeah,
completely maxed. And they're not good. Like Orlando's a disappointment, man. We give them hell every time we play them, and we're not good.
yeah.
So
So
I
I would go back as far as 2011, right? Before I would say that they were a franchise changing player, and that's Kyrie Irving.
yeah, and even he like got disinterested back. He's bounced around the league. Like I
Yeah.
mean, you know, a lot of times too. Like if you're that bad, You sucked that bad to make sure you got the first overall pick. You didn't luck into it, right? You actually were that bad. So that player's gonna leave you.
A lot
What
of the
can I
time.
say?
A lot of the
Like
time, that's the case.
like,
Absolutely.
so again, I would argue that you're better off trying to get lucky in the draft. We're in the right spot, except we sold so much of our stuff. If we were this team all year, we would be in the top 3. Probably. I would imagine.
Yeah, I would think so.
We might
But
not win 5
I'd
games.
also be suicidal.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, yeah, I mean, the Magic are 5 games over 500, 7th in the East, and they maxed their payroll out. Like, they can't add anybody else. This is who they are. With their superstar, Banchero, and, yeah, they're 7th in the East, and so much for that. The Raptors are over them with Scotty Barnes. Again, like, I think was he drafted pretty high?
I think he was a lottery pick.
Lottery pick for sure. He was 4th, so he was pretty
Yeah.
high. But, like, I mean, still, he wasn't highly touted. I think at the time, a lot of people were, like, raising their eyebrows at that pick. I think Toronto was just, like, a good scouting, and they got him. I don't remember when he was coming out of the draft. I'm pretty sure there were people weren't like, "Oh my god, Scotty Barnes." Like,
Mm.
that wasn't the school of thought. Because a lot of times after, like, pick, like, 2 or whatever, a lot of this draft is a little bit different where there's 4 guys everyone's really hype on. But a lot of times it's, like, 1 or 2 guys people are hype on, and after that, it's like
It's a crapshoot. Yeah.
I mean, look at a guy like Matas, man. He went all the way to 11. Talent oozing out of his pores. It took Alex Sarr and this other French guy before him, like, they're
Misa
whatever,
Shea.
man.
Yeah. I know.
You can yeah, and we've said our piece. There's nothing more to say on it.
Absolutely not. And I think now we need to bring it down a little bit. So let's have a bit of fun, shall we?
Yeah, let's do
One and done. Okay. So we're going to slimline this a little bit this week. We're only going to do 2 subjects. So the first one we're going to do for our one and done. I'll hit you first, right? Least favorite bull out of the 4 that I'm going to give you. Okay. So the first one is Dwayne Wade. The second one is Denzel Valentine. The third one is Eddie Curry. And the fourth one is John Starks.
least favorite bull?
Least favorite bull out of those 4.
John
Not
Starks, the guy
least.
that was from the Knicks?
Yeah.
He was a bull?
Yes, he was.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. John Starks was a Chicago Bull.
It's hard not to pick him because he's an asshole.
Exactly that.
But if you're talking least favorite bull, I feel like I have to I wanna hate their time as a bull the most. So since I don't remember him, I'm not gonna pick him. Who I'm going to pick is actually Denzel Valentine because I hate him.
Okay. That's fair. I think we all do.
What's funny is I almost had so I'm gonna go through mine. I almost picked Dwayne Wade if I'm being honest with you. He was a big disappointment.
Huge.
That
And
guy
he was
was
toxic.
yeah, super washed and like that playoff run, like we started 2-0 over the Celtics and it was all because of Rondo. And
Mm-hmm.
Rondo went out with that injury and we got
That's it.
swept after that.
Wasn't it a thumb sprain or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And I actually think that if Rondo had been healthy in the playoffs, I actually think we would have gone further.
yeah, just because that team was actually playoff built because they had 2 isolation scorers and then they had Rondo who was a
Mm-hmm.
menace in the playoffs. He knew how to
Yes, he
win.
was. Playoff Rondo.
It's real. And then Jimmy's always just been like a playoff guy. He's always been a playoff stud. Even he couldn't carry Dwayne Wade's dead carcass through the playoffs that year.
Plus, Dwayne Wade was in his ear Dwayne Wade really helped create the divide between Jimmy and the rest of the locker room, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. You could argue that Jimmy's never been the same since then. He's just all he's done is piss everybody off. But he
Yeah,
did he did take 2 Heat teams that had no business being in the finals to the
he sure
finals.
did. He sure did.
I mean, he also had Spoelstra, but still.
Yeah, still, he was on the floor.
Yeah, he was the guy carrying them there.
Hmm.
Uh, Damn shame that he couldn't beat LeBron in the bubble championship because I would love nothing more than LeBron to have 0 Lakers titles. And even though there should be an asterisk next to it, there's never not in his world.
More of more of a bubble than an asterisk, but
I love it.
actually, just before we go on quickly, just to confirm, right? I looked it up because I wanted to make sure I was 100% correct. John Starks played for the Bulls. He played for the Chicago Bulls for 4 games in 1999-2000 season.
Oh my god, okay.
There we go.
Nice pull, nice pull. So I've got 4 guys as well. My 4 guys, I'm gonna start off with Nikola Mirotic,
Okay,
uh,
Mirotic, yeah.
who when I referenced earlier, I was like the guy that we brought over after a lot of hubbub. Like he was talked about, like he was the Euro guy. He was like some MVP of whatever league he was in before he
Yeah,
came over. There's a lot of hype for him. I remember I was reading about him for years, and I thought he was gonna be a stud. And then Bobby Portis fucking gave him the 1-2, and that was it. I mean, he was disappointing anyway, but he did have some big games. Like
he
there was a
did.
couple
He had some moments for sure.
moments of his career were definitely as a Bull, because then he left us and he shaved his beard and he was never the same.
He should never have shaved that beard. That was on point.
Yeah, he looked really weird after that.
He did.
um, then okay, my second Bull for you is Ben Wallace.
Right.
My third Bull for you is Aaron Gray,
Okay.
and then my fourth Bull for you is Denzel Valentine.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I actually quite liked Mirotic for when he
Yeah,
did play well.
yeah.
So
I didn't know if you that had a chance to win. I thought maybe you would call him soft for quitting after he got knocked out.
no, he's all right. Look, I nothing major against Mirotic other than he was disappointing. He wasn't quite what we wanted him to be. Aaron Gray, yeah, he was kind of big guy, meant to be meant to be this big powerhouse in the center, and he wasn't. He was just meh. Uh, who was the third guy?
And Wallace?
Ben Wallace. I liked Big Ben. I know he was another disappointment. I had a Ben Wallace St. Patrick's Day jersey.
Again, he wasn't supposed to be a disappointment, but he ended up
No,
being.
he was. He was a disappointment for us. But it has to be Valentine.
Okay.
I'll never forget that shot. I'll
I
never
mean,
forget that shot.
I know, dude. That shot was so bad because I watched that game live, and it was such a
Yeah,
great
I did too.
such a great comeback, and that's how he pissed away the final possession. I was
Crazy,
like, "Oh!" I'm so pissed.
crazy. Loads of time left on the clock. Shot it from way outside his range.
Yeah.
It was just terrible.
Everything about it was like, "You are a complete and utter dumbass."
And the thing was, he got us into that position to
Yeah,
win the game. It was off the back of his play,
yeah.
but he obviously just went on a heater in his own head and thought, "Yeah, I can hit everything now." No,
It
dude,
was so
run the play.
you don't take that shot when the game is on the line and, like,
No,
you just completed this great it's not like he was making shots like that leading into that. It's just that, yeah,
no,
he had hit some shots
yeah.
and, like, overall that just capped like, until then, I had no reason to really hate him, but that after that, I was like, "This guy's a complete moron."
He
And
instantly lost the fan base after that shot.
yeah, forever. And, I mean, he was a disappointment too, like, he was supposed to be pretty good coming from Michigan State, and he never lived up to his billing. Um,
No,
I put Aaron Gray I would give you a secret. I actually, as a kid, for some reason, liked Aaron Gray. He was, like, one of my favorite Bull centers.
really.
Yeah, of all the random ones back in, like, after the
Yeah.
for the dynasty. Yeah, I for some reason loved that big goofy move. He would just back down. He had one move. It was the little baby hook, and I liked it. I don't know why. I was a kid. I don't know, man. I just liked it.
Yeah. Like I say, he wasn't awful. He just wasn't anything either. Do you know? He was
No,
just meh.
yeah. So on the list of top 10 worst Chicago Bulls that I just told you that I looked up, uh, it was of the last 10 years, and it was dated from 2018. So I guess 2008 to 2018.
Right.
Gray and Wallace were both on them.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, shit." But, um, alright. So, we're gonna go with favorite non-Chicago Bulls we're going with superstars though, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I say you say superstars. It depends on what's your definition of superstar. I mean, I would put all four that I've chosen down as superstars, but they were certainly like bigger than all stars. Anyway, not just all stars. These guys carried their teams.
I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you first?
Okay, I'll go first. The first one then, who was I suppose a co-carrier of his team, was Penny Hardaway.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, he was alongside Shaq, but
Yeah,
for anyone that actually has ever watched or remembers watching Penny Hardaway playing basketball, that dude, if he didn't get injured, he was special.
okay.
Which I kind of get the feeling he'd be your kind of player.
Yes. He's a
Um,
I love me a playmaking point guard.
yes, me too. The next one then is the big fundamental, Tim Duncan.
Okay, good choice. I like him.
And the last one, who another player who had his career robbed from him by injury, was Grant Hill.
Grant Hill, okay. Yeah. So, did you write down Tim Duncan before? Like, I can't remember. Did I make the reference about backboards after you wrote him down?
Yeah, no, yeah, you made it after I'd written it down, and when you said it, I nearly said, "Oh, that's," and I was like, "No, I'll wait."
I
Yeah,
love that. Okay. Dude, I think I'm gonna have to go with white chocolate but I like all the picks that you gave me. So I will say that I probably wasn't old enough to appreciate Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway when they were good. I've
right.
seen I was really young at that time, and I feel like by the time like I feel like I didn't really I was watching a lot of Bulls or Lakers, and I'd never seen a lot of Penny um before he got hurt. Same with Grant. Um, but I know that they were, like, on their way to being all-time greats, and then the
Yeah,
injuries really robbed them of their greatness.
for
So, yeah,
sure.
like, White Chocolate, dude, like, his passes they live forever in my head, and I actually was a fan of his YouTube channel for a while, like, he had, like, a YouTube channel where he'd go around to random parks and, like, face people one-on-one.
Yeah,
So, I was watching that.
like the professor does now.
Yes. So, yeah, I was very much enjoying those. So, because of that I wonder, you know what, am I talking about no, no, I'm talking about Jason Williams. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go with Jason Williams. Special, special point guard. Ahead of his time.
I
He'd be a viral superstar these days.
Oh, for sure. Like, and as far as I'm concerned, and I alluded to this even though I didn't tell you the actual names I had written down. As far as I'm concerned, any choice you would have made on that top four or on that four would have been the correct choice because I actually think that that is an incredible list of players, even
Yeah.
if I made it myself.
Yeah, man, 100%, 'cause, I mean, I love Timmy D too. He'd probably be second for me. I mean, obviously, I just said I didn't get to fully appreciate Grant Hill and Penny, but, um, I love Tim Duncan because he always did his thing. He never had to go recruit. He had his boys and he won with them. He just did his job and he did it extremely well, and he didn't run
Hmm.
his mouth off. He never really cried about stuff, like once in a while he'd do the he had that one ref
Yeah.
that like the one ref like had like a problem with him for no good reason, like teed him up and tossed him out of the game for like sitting on the bench or something. I can't remember what it was. The bald guy,
Yeah, I can't remember that either.
that bald ref that looks really ugly who had a problem with him. I think it was him. Um, yeah, I don't know his name. I feel like his name might have been Joey. I don't know. Anyways, I have a theme for yours, Neil.
Go.
And my theme was I picked superstars that uh ran into the Michael Jordan buzzsaw.
Okay.
So number one, I have Patrick Ewing.
Mhm.
Number two, I have Carl Malone, the mailman. number number three, I have the glove Gary Payton.
Right.
And number four, I have Reggie Miller.
Oh god. Right, okay. I appreciated the talent of all four of those players.
Okay.
I enjoyed watching them play against the Chicago Bulls and getting their asses handed to them. But for me, if you were to make me pick a favorite out of the four of those, it is hands down the glove. Mm.
Okay. I thought actually it was gonna be Reggie Miller.
No, no, no. Reggie Miller annoyed the shite out of me.
I
Yeah, well, see, you're from Indiana. He's
has nothing to do with it actually. I just
I
think
know,
that
I know, I know, I know.
he reminds me of Michael.
Yeah, look, he was a trash talker. But I think as much as I like enjoyed Reggie and what he could do, and he was a great shooter, um, it used to annoy me with the like the crossed hands shot. It was so fundamentally like unsound. I don't know how it was as accurate as it was. And I've spoken before that like I suppose this is the coach in me, but fundamentals is a big thing for me. And like when I see him shooting the way he shoots, it does make me cringe. It's the same way as if Joakim Noah had never been a Chicago Bull, his shot would have pissed me off so much. But because he did it as a Bull and it was accurate enough, I was like, yeah, no, I kind of like that sidewinder stuff. But yeah, no, Reggie Miller annoyed me as much as I appreciated him.
So I shot two-handed like Joakim Noah until I was like in 8th grade. My uncle Kevin finally took me to a court one day and was like, "We're not leaving until you're shooting with one hand." And I was like,
Right.
"What?" I got really good with it. I
There you
even
go.
I was like going to basketball camp in Canada and kicking their ass with this ugly two-handed shot. And then yeah, but no, I'm glad he did because I never would have lasted in high school with that. So
Yeah, yeah.
um yeah, good pick for Gary Payton. Yeah, for some reason I had a soft spot for Reggie Miller. Maybe I just think that he was ugly as hell. Don't get me wrong, but I just always loved that I like that he talked trash like Michael and always.
Mm.
I feel like he was the only guy that was never scared of Michael. Like when they played, he gave
That's
it that.
quite true, actually. That's quite true, actually. Yeah, I'll give him that. No, look, I don't dislike Penny. Penny, I read my own notes here. I don't dislike Reggie Miller. Sometimes his takes as a commentator are a bit off. Um, like I
A
enjoyed.
commentator than he was a basketball player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I enjoyed Reggie Miller on the. Like I say, I enjoyed all of those players playing against the Bulls. In that time, and it was always great that we kind of more often than not had the advantage over them. In Michael and Scotty. It was great. It was
Was
fun. It
above
made
7 too, but yeah, you're right. It made for great battle.
Yeah, it did. It made it fun. And sometimes that kind of dislike for a player against your team that you love makes it fun. It makes it entertaining, and it makes it an enjoyable watch. And um, I wish we had that with the likes of LeBron James and James Harden, the players and Trae Young, players that I don't like that are in the league, but we can't step up to them like we used to back in the 90s or back in the late 2000s. We can't stand toe to toe with these players and these teams. So it just makes me hate them instead of enjoying the battles like I did in the past.
Yeah, I agree. I do love that Michael denied all of these players rings. I think Gary Payton did get one with the Heat at the end of his career as a backup, like on the
Yeah, I believe you're right. Actually, that rings a bell. But I mean, look, if you were to make me pick which of those four players, well, I know Karl Malone has got a ring, but if you were to ask which of those players in their prime, playing for their primary team, would I prefer to see win a championship, it would be Patrick Ewing. I would have liked to have
he's
seen
actually a
Patrick.
good, yeah, he was a good guy. He tried
Yeah,
really hard.
and he played with such ferocity. Um, I enjoyed watching Patrick play.
Yeah, he got to the finals, but he blew it.
Yeah,
He had no
did.
right being there though. They were the 8th seed.
Yeah. That doesn't necessarily mean they've no right to get there, but
Allen Houston totally saved their ass and got him there, if I remember correctly.
yeah, he did. But at the same time, I still, you're talking back end of Patrick Ewing's career there as well, and I'm talking about in their prime, like now. And that being said, I had a bit of a soft spot for the Supersonics. I think everybody in the NBA world did. I mean, everybody seems to want them back as part of the expansion. I'd like to see it, certainly. Yeah, I mean, the likes of Detlef Schrempf and Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. It was really enjoyable basketball to watch.
They had a good team. I think did you say though that Karl Malone got a ring? I don't think he did.
Didn't he get one with the Lakers?
No, he was denied. He got to the finals and the Pistons beat their ass.
Ah, okay. Well,
He tried to ring collect because Gary Payton was on that team too.
uh-huh.
They tried to
Okay.
ring collect. They were
Look at the
trying to go for
Lakers fan coming out in you. Look.
I know. I was actually pretty pissed about that. I thought that ring was in the bag. Back in the day, I was mad about that. But but like I thought that ring was in the bag. I actually still remember I was coming out of WrestleMania 23 and it was in Detroit and there was a lot of Detroit fans like in the lobby. That was the game that they beat the Lakers and they won the championship. They're all celebrating. I was like, "Eh." That was bad. But all right.
But
All right.
Karl Malone, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Bad guy. Bad guy.
Bad guy.
Fuck you, Karl Malone. Um, did I don't know if I ever told you the story about my neighbor betting me that like in the '98 finals, I bet him a Pepsi that the Bulls would
Yeah.
win. He
You
was a
told me this
Karl Malone
story.
fan. Yeah.
Uh,
Give me that. RIP, George. Thanks for the Pepsi. But all right. That'll move us right on to Bull of the Week. Let's wrap it up
Absolutely.
here.
Okay, here we go.
Bull of the Week. And our Bull of the Week this week is a clean sweep, which I think we're gonna try and also do most of the time anyways, but it'll
Yeah.
because our Bull of the Week it's singular. And so for our Bull of the Week, we have Matas Buzelis. Congratulations to the young bull for being not Colin Sexton, the other young bull,
Yeah.
for being the for his first time ever Bull of the Week recipient, and between setting two different career highs and also unfortunately the fact that it was a pretty bad week for all of the Chicago Bulls.
Uh-huh.
Uh, he hit the highest of highs, I think, out of all the team, and so for that reason, he is our Bull of the Week.
Yeah, he was a shining light, and we needed something. So well done, Mattis.
Yeah, that's for sure. I hope that in the future it's a lot more exciting. Like he was, like I don't know, that it feels more earned. No offense, Matas, but your competition this week was pretty bad. We considered
Yeah.
we considered Patrick Williams.
Which tells you the state of affairs in Chicago right now. Yeah, no, look, Patrick Williams has looked reasonably good this week. I mean, he has, what did we say? He had 8 assists in one of the games.
Detroit, yeah.
He's looked engaged. He's looked like he's had a pulse. And that alone is more than we've seen from Patrick Williams in a good number of years.
That's true, and also he shaved his head.
He has shaved his head. Yeah, he's owning it, and maybe that's what it takes. Look, it worked for Mike.
Yeah, yeah, man. He's totally gonna just go on a Michael Jordan-esque arc now.
Yeah,
It's
why not?
exactly what's gonna happen. Well, Air Williams, baby, let's go.
Yeah, someone let
I
all the air
want
out.
I wanna be like Pat.
Doesn't have the same ring to it, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Nah, nah, not quite.
Unless you're Luke. Luke, if you're watching,
Oh,
you're you're welcome. I mean, yeah, he wants to be like Pat.
but see, Luke, if you are watching and you are listening, this is just the point that's being made here is that we are objective about Patrick Williams, and when he does good, I'll pat the man on the back, and when he does not so good,
No
I
pun
will say
intended.
it. Yeah, pat him on the back. There we go.
Sure. Alright, right.
Right.
Put him tis. Alright, that'll lead us right into our last segment. Well, no, not our last segment, but our second to last segment, which
Yes,
is
which is we didn't bulldozers.
bulldozers, yeah.
This week's bulldozers are
I'll let you take point on this one, Neil.
Yeah, well, I mean, in a week of disappointing players and disappointing games and a disappointing team, um, the one guy that has really disappointed me more than anybody else because he's been getting decent minutes and he just hasn't been affecting anything the way he was before all the trades happened, uh, and that's Trey Jones. Um, I mean, the one thing that was good about Trey Jones up until um, recently and the change of the team was he was able to affect the game. And right now, he is an absolute ghost of himself and what we got used to seeing from Trey. And for that reason, he's sleeping on the job for me. He is my bulldozer.
I agree, man. Like, I know that he's had 12 and 6 in a couple of the games, but it's like the quietest 12 and 6 of all time. He's not affecting the
Yeah.
game. He's out there just running around. And yeah, for somebody who really you really felt like was affecting the games, it's not good enough. And in an effort to also prove my objectivity, I'm gonna toss a bulldozer over to a man that it pains me to say this, but I'm gonna give it to Captain Australia. My personal favorite bull. I think I'd say right now, and unfortunately, he's not playing like my favorite bull. He's
Hmm.
in 3 out of the 4 games this week. He scored in single digits. I don't think he ever had more than 6 assists. I think he only did that once. I think even in rebounds, I don't know if he's had more than 5 in any of the games. I think if he did, it was one time. Um, it hasn't been anywhere close to what we expected from Giddy prior to his injury, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm gonna put a caveat on this. If he's playing injured, then get him off the court because, look, I want him to play. I don't think that I know that we're tanking, but, like, I want him to get development, but if he's playing injured, I'm worried about something happening that would require him to be out for an even longer stretch,
Hmm.
and so he doesn't look like himself. Now, it might solely be because of his lack of chemistry with the new guys, and he's not finding himself in the right spots on the court. He's also on somewhat of a minutes restriction, so there's a few factors at play here, but all I know is that as the best player on the team right now, I mean, Matas can be that, but he's still inconsistent with when he shows up. So prior to this, I mean, injury, I think it was pretty objective that even with before the trade, all the trades, Giddy was our best player. He's been our best player all season, and
Yeah.
he has not looked like that at all over the past week. So, unfortunately, Josh Giddey, if you are at 100% health, I have to give you my bulldozer, and it might not be all your fault, but we need more from you, buddy. I also want to say,
Agreed.
like, I, I also want to say, like, he had a shot against the Knicks, both him and Modest. There's 3 threes that they took late, 2 of them by Matas, 1 of them by Giddey that would have given us a chance to win, and they all missed. Your best players had to make those shots when the game's on the line.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Agreed.
that's all I got for that. Let's
All right.
hit it over to courtside countdown.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Courtside countdown.
All right, so we actually probably kind of do want the Blazers to win tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if any game we need to lose, that's the one we need to lose, and that's the one we're going to bloody win, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, right now. Then we play the Bucks on March 1st, which is
Mhm,
actually for tank positioning, another game that we probably should lose. But again, I'm never going to root for losses.
mhm.
I just that's not in me. But again, like if you're a tank fan, you want to see us lose tomorrow and on Sunday. Sunday is a afternoon game at 2:30, and then we play the Thunder on Tuesday the 3rd at 7 p.m., a date with death itself. Um, we don't need to lose that game, but I don't think we need any incentive because they're gonna kick our ass.
Pretty likely. Yeah, I'd say so. Um, but there we go.
It
Look,
would be totally bulls to win a game like that when we have no business. Like,
it would
and
be.
honestly, out of the 3, like, that's the game, if you're a Tank fan, like, you're okay with winning. It doesn't hurt our chances, but the Blazers has double meaning because if they win, that gives them a higher playoff chance, and it gives us worse tank odds. And then the Bucks are not far ahead of us, and so if we
No.
wanna stay in
The,
front of in front of them in the tank odds, we wanna lose.
yeah. The Bucks are the next team above us, if I'm right, in the standings. Is that right? I think so.
I believe so, yes, they are right above us. They are a ga now we do have 2.5 games in between us, but, I believe if we were to beat them, that's a full game, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so right after that, you'd be right back in it, so, man, the Bulls are on a 10-game losing streak.
I know. And not only are we on a 10-game losing streak, the next closest team to us on that losing streak is the Nets, and they've only lost 5.
It's
Only.
brutal. Yeah,
We are literally the worst team in the NBA right now.
yeah, that's not even arguable. I mean,
Yeah.
the Jazz are yeah, I mean, the Pelicans are even on a 2-game winning streak for crying out loud.
Yep.
Uh, there's a slight chance that we could fall behind the Mavericks, for the next worst position in draft stock. They're
Yeah.
they I think are like 3 games roughly behind
They
us.
are 2.5 games back on us, I think.
Okay. But, like,
Two games back on us. 2 games back on us.
it'll be tough to do, but, um, you know, they're not very good either, but it's possible we could fall back one more spot, and if we were to do that, ju I don't think we're gonna fall any lower than that, but for any tanking aficionados out there, right now we have I think a 4.5% chance at number 1. If we fall back one more spot, we will have a 6% chance at number 1, and that's probably the best it'll get, which ain't that bad,
No.
so
I mean, Utah would have to go on a bit of a winning streak, a bit of a tear, and we need to keep losing in order to drop down any further than that, really. And I don't see it going that badly. But you never know. You just don't know. There's still 23 games left to play. A lot could happen. I mean, if we dropped by some crazy circumstance that we dropped all 23 games, I mean, there is a possibility that we slide, but
I want to find that out, man. I don't like the kind of conversations that would be being had and the kind of effect that could have on a guy like Buzelis. I don't know.
correct.
He's so down bad right now. Like, if you've seen his post game interview, he lost his train of thought and just like was like, I just want to win. And like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, bro. Like,
Yeah. But look, the way I'm looking at it is, as we spoke about at the top of the show, let's get through this season. Let's trudge through it, because I don't think we will see this continuing into next season. We are in a position to make change, and we have to execute that in the off season. We have to, both through the draft and through off season moves. It just has to happen.
yeah. And if by some miracle we could at least get into the top 4, that would be a game changing circumstance. And like right now, even if we just stay in our position, we have a 20% chance to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. So, I mean, that's pretty good. That's a 1 in 5 chance. So like you you like those odds, and we're due to be lucky. So,
For sure.
I'm not gonna say that we get number 1, but top 4, because then I
Yeah.
feel like it's pretty good. I think Darren Peterson's very likely to go to one of the top 3 teams. So as long as we can get 4, you guarantee yourself either Caleb Wilson, Cam Boozer, or AJ Dubance, and any one of those players would be a welcome sight on this Bulls team, and you could really see brightness in our future after that. Like that turnaround can come much quicker if we get one of those guys. So,
Yeah.
um, and right there, you would have a viable trio between Giddy, Buzelis, and that 3rd player that we get in the top 4. You can make the argument like that's your big 3 of the future, built around them with, quality role players, and go from there.
Yep. That's it.
So that's gotta be the move this offseason. I hope that it happens. If we don't get in the top 4, it gets a lot more hairy, and then maybe we get a center. Anyone else that we get like at number 9, which is where we pick right now, it's gonna be significantly less of a ceiling than the guys in the top 4s. But anyways, that's for then. We could pray for that. Don't do anything bad in your life, Bulls fans. Make sure that you're good with the good man upstairs if you believe in him. If you don't, make sure that you're good with the universe. If you don't believe in the universe, make sure you're good with yourself. Okay, I don't care. Just be good. We don't need any bad karma.
Right. And if you can't be good, be careful.
And yeah, I don't have any funny jokes off of that. So I agree. But that'll do it for this week's episode of the Six Banner Podcast. Sorry for anyone. It was a little bit more downtrodden than normal. Again, if I guess if the Bulls don't give us much, we're gonna have to act accordingly. But it's all good, man. Until next time, my friends.
Raise the
Raise the
banner.
fan. Yeah, we did it. We did it. I love it. All right, guys, take it easy.